Hey guys, Books Nelson here with another video. Let's get right into the content. We are covering this Bracket Busters set. Now, we're not going to do any complaining. Well, I can't say no complaining. There might be some complaining that sneaks out. But the intent is to review these cards and see what's going on inside this collection. It might not be fun to get these cards, but we're going to have fun talking about them. All right, so let's get right into it and start with Kirk Hinrich. So, you know, this YouTube thing is kind of new to me. And I'll be honest, when I see a set and I'm not so sure about it, my instinct is not to make a video. But I had to make this video because I saw this card. And it's not so much that Kirk Hinrich is amazing. It's just that I didn't have high expectations for Kirk Hinrich. And it looks like he's better than one might think. So getting right into it. So Kirk is 6'4", 6'6" wingspan. Not the ideal player model, but good enough to hold his own for sure against most cards in the game. Probably all but the very tallest point guards and some switches. He should be able to switch 1, 2, and mostly 3 with that build and not get too bullied on defense. And his ability to steal the ball is likely going to be very high. So what's he talking about from an animation standpoint? Well, I love what I'm seeing from the shooting. Kentavious Caldwell Pulp Base, I actually love that card, and hopefully it blends well with the Wes Matthews. We don't know how fast Wes Matthews is off the top of my head. He's got normal leaner, which I like a lot, normal 2-hop jumper, which I also like just fine. Dribble style, Devin Booker, big win there, great dribble style. I'll be honest, I think a slightly overrated dribble style, but a good dribble style nonetheless. Lonzo Ball signature size up, not one of the strongest size ups, but it should be fine. But here we have that big Kemba Walker escape. That is absolutely fantastic. Ja Morant combo moves. I think this one is very good. I believe last week we talked about this. This one is a lot like the James Harden, if I recall correctly. And James Harden is the best combo moves in the game. So yeah, that should be great. Pro moving crossover and breakdown moves. I don't know if those are accurate because whenever I see pro on 2KDB, I can't necessarily trust it when it comes to dribble style. So we'll see. Andrew Wiggins moving behind the back is okay. James Harden moving step back, not the best, usable. We will most likely get Kirk Hinrich at some point and do a breakdown, but Kirk looks really good. Let's take a quick overview of his stats and badges. Actually, before we leave the animations, I will say he has an 80 dunk, but no dunk packages. So I don't know how he's going to be as a dunker. I have to see what that's like in game. Cards do obviously dunk whether or not they have dunk packages, but that can be a little bit on the alarming side right there. So let's look at his stats. 95 3 ball, fantastic. With the normal leaner and that jumper, I would imagine he's probably a very capable shooter from the outside. 92 driving layup is actually a good thing. A lot of people completely dismiss driving layup, but sometimes it is the best option when going to the basket. You don't always have a stick dunk. You don't always have a true mash. And watching a lot of gameplays, I see a lot of people get in trouble because they don't abuse the layup system the way we do in the rec and in the pro-am. So I do think that 92 driving layup is a very good look for Kirk. 80 driving dunk, again, not the best rating in the world. It really depends on how those dunk packages blend with that. But I love the 95 speed with the ball, 95 ball handle, so he's not going to get ripped as much. 95 pass accuracy. It's a big W. I have to say, he reminds me a lot of a Jason Kidd level card. And actually, I'm going to look at that Jason Kidd Galaxy Opal. I want to see how these two cards compare to one another. Because this, I'm not going to go, it would be going a little far to call Hinrich an Opal. But I will say he has some very, very good stats for a pink diamond card and some very, very good animations for a pink diamond card. So let's see how they're matching up. Yeah, they're matching up really, really close. The only standout thing, J-Kid has better post up. J-Kid is slightly better on defense. And when I say slightly, like you see the numbers, but really, yeah, +7 on interior defense. Help defense IQ is irrelevant. Pass perception is actually a good stat, but it's still over 90 for Kirk. And everything else is only 1 or 2, 80 to 89 block. That's significant. But yeah, a J-Kid with a higher stamina. Hinrich actually has a higher vert. Hinrich has a higher 3 ball. And the outstanding thing between the two of them is the plus 30 standing dunk for J Kidd, which is a factor. Let's and J Kidd also has a 6'8" wingspan. But I will say, this feels a lot like the pink diamond version of Jason Kidd. And I think he compares reasonably favorably to Jason Kidd. The big things that stand out, Kyrie Irving elite and Derrick Rose on the dribbling is a big W, but Kemba Walker escape and possibly those Ja combo moves is a big W over here. Moving crossover in favor of Jason. Trae Young move behind the back is very, very good when going to the basket. The step backs might be a wash. Got to take a look at that. But yeah, and the hezzy, both pretty good hezzies. Chris Paul has a tricky little hezzy. Kevin Durant's a nice, reliable hezzy. Better for creating threes, I think. So yeah, I actually think this, if you have the Jason Kidd or wanted the Jason Kidd, I think Kirk Cousins might be a reasonable substitute for that position and play similarly. All right. I'm going to keep it a buck. When I first glanced at this picture real quick, I was like, Trae Young's in this set? And then I looked again, and I was like, all right, it's cool. So, Joakim Noah. So, the big thing about Joakim Noah is that Al Horford base with default big upper release doesn't look good. Have to see if that's a makeable shot. 6'11", 7'1" wingspan. Now, he's another one of those cards that usually plays excellent defense. Let's look at those badges. Look at this. Very, very complete. On the defensive badges side, let's see. He does have that Hall of Fame immovable enforcer with an 88 speed. Put a shoe on him, get that to 92. This card might be better than people think, just because defensively, it's really about, is that jumper too slow to work? If the jumper is not too slow to work, I think this card might be a bit of a sleeper. Dribbling, he's actually not the worst dribbler in the world. He's got some SIGs there. I don't think you're really going to do much with him, though. I don't see any SIGs here that are very useful. The James Harden is good. The problem with the James Harden is it's good for shot creation, and I highly doubt Joakim Noah has the chops to do any real shot creation. He's got basic leaner, which is okay, but it might be another factor in him being able to shoot a little more than one would think with that Horford base and default big upper. So really depends on the jump shot in game, but if his jumper is solid in game, then this is a very good pink diamond, in my opinion. All right, Steve Blake. We're going to keep it moving, guys. This card sucks. There's nothing to really talk about here. Let's see. Look at his... So defensively, he's got some stuff going on. He actually... Let me see. Does he have a movable? No immovable. 6'3", 6'6" wingspan. 94 speed is good. Let's give Steve a little chance here. Steph Curry dribble style, normal size up. John Wall escape. Yeah, this is... The only thing he's really got going for him that I'm seeing is this John Wall moving step back. Jared Vanderbilt, lower base on normal on a PG. It's kind of a killer. I'm not going to say he's an unusable card if you're a Steve Blake or Scott O'Gallagher fan, but I will say this card is definitely the joke card in the collection. All right. Raef LaFrentz. So Raef's going to be really interesting, right? Malachi Flynn, lower base. With Lauri Markkanen release. This should be a really good jumper. I have not shot the basketball with Raef LaFrentz in 2K24. He's not a dribbler. Nothing really to talk about with the dribbles that I can see here. I'm not going to sit here and list every single one, but he's got basic dribble style, which is horrible. Normal size up is okay if you have a better dribble style. Without a better dribble style, it's not particularly useful. Harden escape, not particularly useful. Yeah, I don't see much here with the dribbling. He's definitely going to be a catch and shoot big. So let's see how he does in that category. Excellent shooting badges. Hall of Fame limitless range. Huge. 6'11" again, so depending on how he plays defense, maybe more suited to that power forward spot. But I will say he's probably not getting totally dogged out by other centers. I have to see how he stands up to a guy like a Wilt or something like that. 90 strength is pretty good. Yeah, I don't know if I really trust that at the center position. But from a power forward standpoint, I don't know how he's going to defend against one of these more mobile power forwards. Like Splash is using Tyrus Thomas in his starting lineup last I checked. And I don't know if this card is ready to defend that kind of thing. So he might be, against certain lineups, he might be forced to play at center. But I will say, he's probably a fantastic stretch big. I love the Hall of Fame anchor. That's excellent. 85 speed with the ball, 86 ball handle. But again, with bad SIGs, I don't know how much you're really going to move with the ball. If you have handles for days, I don't know if I'd waste it on this card because there are a lot of really good cards that need handles for days, and I don't think he's moving quite enough to invest into that. Definitely put that on your Senguns and those kind of cards that need it. 87 speed, pretty good. What's his block looking like? 90 block is good. I like that. 92 interior D. I think with a shoe, he might hold his own enough to justify what is probably one of the best big man shooters in the game. George Niang. Now, call me crazy. Isn't this just George? Everybody's like Georges. Isn't it just George? Like George St. Pierre? Y'all let me know in the comment section. All right, so I was actually a little bit excited about this card because I saw that LeBron James dribble style. So let's see what else he's got going on there. So we got the Pro size up, which is great, which is pretty solid. Not great, but solid. Pro escape, also solid. We got to see what that escape really is, but Pro escape usually solid. Kemba moving step back is okay. Kobe breakdown. Lillard behind the back. This is a solid moving card. A solid moving card. He's got his own release on quick. 6'7" at the small forward. Now, I don't love that. I just think we've gotten way too many good small forwards to make too much noise about George Niang. I think he is a solid card, and if you have been completely ignoring the rush set at the time that you're listening to this video and still somehow don't have a small forward that you want to get, maybe you play this card. Maybe if he's good in salary, if his salary comes way down, he'll be a good option. But as it is right now, he's nowhere near the top of the small forward list, but he's probably usable and an overall solid card. Ignoring you, let's go all the way up the chain. And now we are into these. So that's all right. So that's all the pink diamonds. So now let's get into these opals. So first, Christian Laettner. I'm very excited about this card and the triple threat rewards. So let's see. He's got 88 speed, 6'11", 7'1" wingspan. We love the body type. We love that speed. Elite shooting, like super great shooting. So this is what I'm talking about, like him or Raef LaFrentz, you know, like it doesn't look particularly close. What's his defense looking like? 95 interior D, 92 block. This card looks fantastic. I think he can play the 4 or the 5, according to what we're seeing here. 94 strength, 95 stamina, which is actually a really big deal. All right, let's look at these badges. Hold on. So this is what I'm talking about. He doesn't have handles for days. We haven't looked at his SIGs yet, but he's going to need hyperdrive and handles for days if he's a creator. And he's definitely going to want that space creator, depending on what those SIGs are. So let's get right to it. Whoa! Christian Laettner has every dunk package in the game almost. So he's looking great from that standpoint. McGrady size up. Michael Jordan dribble style. So yeah, this guy can really dribble. KD escape. This is all fantastic. Moving step back. Steph Curry. This card is absolutely off the charts great. And I would say, I don't know if he's better than Sengun. Let's see. So he's got Wayne Gabriel on very quick. I don't know what that shot is like, but it is on very quick. Devin Booker Leaner. Whoa. This guy might actually send Sengun to the bench. What? Yo, this card is awesome. What an awesome reward. I highly recommend you get a couple of buddies, go into that triple threat, and grind it out for this card. I think it's only 50 wins. Yeah. I don't quote me on that 50 wins, but this card, he definitely looks like the bee's knees in the cat's pajamas. I'm very impressed by Christian Laettner, and I definitely want to get my hands on this card and compare him to one of my new favorite cards, Sengun. All right, so yeah, thumbs up to Christian Laettner. Good news for the grinders out there. All right, Tyler Hansbrough. Interesting how he compares with Laettner, coming right off Laettner. So MJ dribble style, Josh size up, not the best. Kemba Walker escape, obviously absolutely fantastic. D-Fox breakdown, fantastic. John Wall moving crossover, absolutely elite. Moving step back, James Harden, it's all right, not so great. Lower base JT Thor very quick is absolutely fantastic. JT Thor is one of the best releases in the game. It's in the probably third tier, I would say in like the A tier, right? So if you go like S, A plus, A tier, it's an A tier base. And on very quick, it's going to be absolutely fantastic, even at 6'9". I will say at 6'9", he's a little undersized. That's a big factor. So Christian Laettner is a comparable dribbler, but is 6'11" with a 7'1" wingspan. Hansbrough is 6'9" with a 6'11" wingspan, and he cannot play the 3. So that's interesting. But I will say, outside of his size, Hansbrough looks absolutely outrageous. 92 3-point shot. I think that's not as good of a shooter as Laettner, right? Am I incorrect? Yeah, 96 3-pointer on Laettner. Yeah, Laettner looks like the slightly superior card based on his size and somewhat better shooting. Let's look at these stats and badges real quick. So, yeah, stats and badges, he's looking absolutely complete. Absolutely complete. Hall of Fame limitless. This card is definitely a bucket, probably a ton of fun to use if you can get your hands on them. Now, and let's address that real quick. So I am covering these opals. I am covering the opals thoroughly. One of my commenters made a great point. He said, I like that you cover the cards because even though I'm not getting them, I like to know what I'm up against when I see them online. I wholeheartedly agree. I'm not going to glorify the cards with a full breakdown or anything like that, but we will at least talk about them in this capacity, looking at what they can do potentially. We see here Tyler Hansbrough, fantastic dunk packages, great layup package and default swing. Don't sleep on that. Michael Jordan Laettner is not great. Whoa, that's surprising. What's your Laettner? And he has Devin Booker Laettner. Yeah, I would say between the two. Not that there's a real reason to compare them because Tyler Hansbrough is complete luck if you get him, and Christian Laettner, you can get him. But I will say, you're not missing, as good as this Tyler Hansbrough is in many ways, you're not missing out, in my opinion. You can go ahead and get that Laettner. Take a quick look at it. So, but 95 speed is incredible. All right, 97 strength is also incredible. This is one of the best athletes in the game. And as a fun fact, if I recall correctly, Tyler Hansbrough actually had a higher vertical leap at the combine than Blake Griffin. Obviously, that didn't play out on the court. There are more things to jumping than, tagging a vert thing. But yeah, he either had the same or a higher vert than Blake Griffin, if I recall correctly. Shane Battier. Shane Battier, 6'8" at the 2 guard, which is fantastic size, 6'10" wingspan. And he's going to need it because the 2 guard position is very, very strong at the top in the cases of Kobe, Ron Artest, and you even got cards like Andrew Wiggins, who I should be getting pretty soon, so I'll do a breakdown on Wiggins soon. 95 driving dunk, excellent. Let's look at those driving dunk animations. Ooh, let's see here. So big man hangs off one, not great. We like the under the baskets because these, even though there might be a little bit of back scratching in here, it'll be fast if he has so we're going to look for that rise up badge as well. There's a lot of under the basket stuff, and actually this is a very good selection of dunk packages because he's actually a cheesy dunker. He's got all standing dunks and then the cheesy straight arm tomahawks and the cheesy athletic one-handers off one. So this is basically the equivalent of having, quick hangs off one, I think it was, or whatever, the old cheesy dunk package. This is basically the equivalent of having that. John Wall size up is fine. Kobe dribble style, cool. Pro escape, not the best. Combo moves James Harden is the best. Steph Curry step back is fantastic. This card is very good. Isaiah Roby, very quick. I think he's good. He looks like he's a for sure top 10 2 guard because when we go over here to the defense, we know that his defense is probably going to be absolutely outrageous, and we are not disappointed. 90 block is very, very good. Obviously outstanding on a 2 guard. Shane Battier, they could have juiced it even more, but they didn't. But outside of that, everything else is way, way at the top. Pretty much 99. He's most likely going to have that defensive takeover. So once that happens, all of these stats are 99. In fact, I would say as soon as he does anything on the court, he's basically 99 across the board defensively. So speed's pretty good at 94. Strength 90 is very good. Again, we're talking about a 2 guard here. 97 vert's going to help that block even more. How's he looking on the rebounding? Very good rebounder. This card can play the 2 or the 3. And I would say if you've got one of the elite 2s in the game, I think this card might even be better at the 3. I think he might even be better with a shot creator type card like Kobe, or if you got him a Ron Artest or something like that at his side. So yeah, this. I'm very pleased with what I see from Shane Battier. And if you lock in this set, which, I think this is a set that you could lock in because I don't think it's a guaranteed lock in. I don't think it's definite lock in. I think most of these cards are pretty good, usable. This is one of the best big man shooters in the game. And I do think this is one of the better 2-way PGs in the game. So if it's easy for you to lock in this set, so far it's looking like the opals are pretty good money if you're looking for these positions. Brandon Miller, I expect Brandon Miller to be super duper excellent. So let's go ahead and look at these animations. Long athlete layup package, basically every dunk package in the game. McGrady size up, Booker dribble style, Steph escape, which is fine. Booker combo moves, which is okay. Harden step back. Actually, I have to say, These SIGs, not super impressive. Pro 3 leaner, Brandon Miller very quick. I'm not going to say this card sucks because that'd be going a little too far. He's a 6'9" shooting guard. But I do think this card is way more limited than people might think. People are going to see 6'9", they're going to say Brandon Miller, and he was a good Ruby. He was a good Ruby at the time where cards weren't getting fantastic SIGs. Now, from a dribble package standpoint, from a shot creation standpoint, I'm not particularly impressed. I do think that he can make it work. Don't get me wrong. I think with the McGrady size up and the D-Book dribble style, he can make it work. The problem is, the best thing about the D-Book dribble style is it combos with a good leaner. And the Pro 3 leaner is only half of a leaner. Going towards your ball hand, it's absolutely horrible. Going towards your off-ball hand, it's good. It's not even elite going towards your off-ball hand. It's just good. I'm not going to say this is like, oh no, I got Brandon Miller. I think 6'9", 7'1" wingspan at the 2. He serves a purpose. He's going to be very switchable. But as a creator, I'm a little bit disappointed. Let's see how he's doing defensively. 88 interior, 93 perimeter, 94 lateral, 92 steal, 90 block. Looks very, very good defensively. Let's see those defensive badges. Defensive badges, he got gold immovable, very, very complete as a defender, gold challenger, gold interceptor, and you see the Hall of Fame badges. So yeah, I think this card is a little closer to a pure slasher 3-and-D. It's a 3-and-D, simple slashing, and occasionally you'll create with him, but this is definitely not a primary ball handler. Even if you're only comparing him to pink diamonds and free cards, he's not a primary ball handler in this humble dribbler's opinion. All right, Danny Ferry. 97.3, 6'10", 7'2" wingspan at the small forward position. That is already insane. If nothing else about the card is good. So he's got Taurean Prince, one of the better releases in the entire game. Again, in that JT Thor category of very, very good. Right? And he has it on very quick. So before we even get to his dribbles, and I'm seeing some scary stuff with the dribbling already, we have to say, just being 6'10" at the small forward position with a 7'2" wingspan and having that kind of 3 with that kind of shot, this is most likely going to be one of the best small forwards in the game. Just from that standpoint, like just even if you use him the way you would use a Michael Beasley, he's like he looks like he might be a new Michael Beasley kind of thing. I don't know if his release will be quite as good as Beasley's because Beasley's just off the charts, but I think he's in that kind of stratosphere. So let's see how he's looking otherwise. So defensively, he's literally got 90s and everything, except for 95 lateral quickness, which isn't really the most important stat in the world. 95 driving dunk, which is excellent. And badge-wise, take a quick look at these badges. He does have Hall of Fame immovable. Whoa, this card looks crazy. He's going to need that unpluckable, obviously. That's the only badge you actually need to give him, though. He only needs one badge. So if you've been holding on to a Hall of Fame unpluckable and you get this card, don't hesitate to put it on him. I think no matter what we see from a SIG standpoint, this is a very good card. In my opinion, there's two kinds of cards, right? There's my team cards and there's my career cards. My team cards are going to do the stuff like the CPU using them, playing off ball and that kind of stuff, running plays and catching and shooting and defending. That's a my team card. My career card is a card that you actually pick up and you have to use and create with the card. He's an excellent my team card. Let's see how he rates as a my career card and helping you create the offense and not be boxed. Nate Robinson leaner, which I believe is very good. I haven't used that one in quite a while since I was looking for leaners. Steph Curry dribble styles, okay. Not one of the best, not one of my favorites, but De'Aaron Fox size up is one of my favorites. Combined with the Steph Curry dribble style, that's going to be very good. Pro escape, it's going to be fine. Behind the back, Steph Curry's okay. Moving step back pro, we got to see what that is. Breakdown moves, pro. Combo moves. So as a dribbler, he's good, very usable. He's definitely one of the cards that I would have to break him down and really see what's under the hood, because this is a very, very unique set of SIGs. And on this channel, we like to be straightforward with the information we have. I'm not going to try to pretend I know everything. I'm 2KDB. In fact, I'm very much against that. I'm all for getting under the hood and really seeing what a card can do. And this card has very high potential based on how much we explore. And Hop Jumper Pro is all right. But yeah, I think as a catch and shoot card, as a 3-and-D card, having size at the 3, he's going to be fantastic. And if he was some of you guys' favorite small forward, I wouldn't be surprised. Chet Holmgren, obviously very high expectations. If you played this game, you probably shot a lot with Chet Holmgren. He's got his release on very quick, which should be absolutely excellent. Let's see what the dribbling is look like. I mean, and before we do that, we'll just talk about the stats and so on and so forth. He's got an 84 strength, which is obviously way better than he's used to, which will help him play the 5. But I always felt you could get away with Chet at the 5 just fine. You just have to make sure you make up for it with your ability to shoot at a very high clip. And that is what he can continue to do. He can shoot at a very, very high clip. He's got, excellent top tier shooting badges. You definitely want to give him a Hall of Fame open looks. But that's all he needs is open looks and space creator. And Chet's good to go. The stats and badges look great. I'm not going to read off everything. I will say 88 speed with ball, very good at his height. 85 pass act, just fine. I might even throw a shoe on that. 92 speed, 87 acceleration, all looking good. And defensively, he's going to be one of the best just shot blocking rangy guys in the game. 7'6" wingspan is incredible. We all know Chet's character model. Very, very good rotating around that perimeter and helping. And in the 92 speed, he's going to be better than ever at doing that. I'll be honest, this card almost feels more like a dark matter than a Galaxy Opal just because of how good he is. I mean, there are some great centers at the Galaxy Opal level, but yeah, he fits right in with any of those guys. Kobe dribble style, Jamal Murray size up, actually an excellent size up. Excellent size up. And it's going to blend in great with that Kobe dribble style. This combination right here, it is so good that almost none of this matters. But there is something in here that very much matters, and that's the John Wall moving step back. I'm going to say it. This is possibly he's in the discussion for best power forward in the game, because people look at Kemba escape, blah blah. Here's the thing: you don't need every single tool in the book to be effective. You just need the combination of tools that works together to be effective. And I think Chet has one of the best combinations of strong tools without having every single tool in the toolbox. For the kind of player that he is. We see the great dunk packages. We know the fantastic size. We see the great stats. We see the great shooting. The only actual flaw in this card for me, really, is the Pro 3 leaner. But even that is not a big flaw because he's got the Jokic hop jumper. One of the very best hop jumpers in the game, especially on a big. Very high release, creates great space. So even on the move, he's elite. Just don't bother with his pro leaner when you're going to his strong hand side. If you're going strong hand side, do the Jokic hop jumper. This card is practically flawless. I think he can hang with the best 5s in the game and is in the discussion for one of the best power forwards in the game. Adam Morrison. So we know what's going on with Adam Morrison. We're going to get right to it. He's got that it's not going to say here, but he's got the Jamal Murray behind the back. Now he's got the Kyrie Irving dribble style, Derrick Rose signature size up, which is very, very good. Trey escape. So John Wall. So he's now we talked about not having every tool in the toolbox. He's got every tool in the toolbox. Kobe leaner. He still has the Steph Curry, Jerry West. Was that one very quick before? We're going to take a look at that. In fact, we just switch back. 2KDB doesn't like to load when I'm doing videos. Let's see. It was on quick before. Now it's on very quick. So his jumper was a little troll before, and it kept him from being the best small forward in the game. He was debatably the best small forward in the game. I'm in the group of people that thinks that even after he came out, LeBron was still better than him. And I think even on most people's lineups, LeBron lasted pretty long in that discussion. But I will say, if that jumper being on very quick is a solution for that upper, the Jerry West upper not being good, you are looking at arguably your best small forward in the game in this dark matter. And obviously you have 100 overall KG, but here's the thing. If this jumper is better, I don't know if that's even better than a card that can actually truly dribble behind screens and create at the highest level, being 6'8" with a 7-foot wingspan. He's got excellent defensive stats and all of that stuff. So obviously, if you're lucky enough to somehow get this card, you're looking at one of the best small forwards in the game, hands down. Melo, 2 guard now. He can play the 2 guard position. You see the shooting is absolutely out of control. Driving dunk out of control. He only has a 90 strength. So they're going with young Melo, but that's very strange, only having a 90 strength. I say only, obviously that's very good on the 2 guard. It's just that Carmelo Anthony's one of the strongest players that's ever played the game. So especially at his position. So it's interesting because he doesn't have anything juice because he's only 6'7" with a 7-foot wingspan. I mean, that's good at the two guard position, but not good enough for you to knock out a guy like an Artest or even a Kobe. So let's see how the animation's looking. D-Book dribble style. So he's got the Carmelo Anthony jumper, always a very good jumper in 2K. Pro 2 leaner, one of the best leaners in the game. And he said D-Book moving crossover. Kobe escape is pretty good. Kobe's got a pretty good escape. His own size up, which is not the best. D-Book dribble style, pretty good. Moving step back, Chris Paul is solid. Yeah, I would say I'm not terribly hyped about this Dark Matter Carmelo Anthony. I definitely don't think he's better than Ron Artest. He might be. I could be wrong about that, but I don't think he is. That we like to look at that Dark Matter glow and expect things to just be better because it says 99 and he's got a Dark Matter glow. But from a animation standpoint, from a size standpoint, I do not think he is the best at his position. And I think he's good, but if you're chasing this card because he's a Dark Matter, I think that's just looking at the card color and focusing too much on it. If you're a Carmelo Anthony fan, then that's a different story. If you need a two guard and you don't have Ron, you don't have Kobe, obviously almost no one has T-Mac, and you're in that next tier of cards, then Carmelo's definitely going to play in that next tier of cards almost no matter who you're talking about. But yeah, I think he's good. I don't know if he's super fantastic. I'd actually be very curious to head-to-head look at him versus Shane Battier. I know that sounds absolutely crazy, but Shane is 6'8", shorter wingspan actually, so that's interesting. But from an animation standpoint, they're pretty close, right? And so it's really about who's the better defender. I don't know who's going to be the better defender, so that's interesting. Not really going to talk too much about Magic. Virtually no one's going to get this card, 99.9, and just pretend I said 9 a bunch of times. That's how many of you are going to get this card. He's got his own jumper and very quick, so he's not going to be one of the best shooters at PG. It is what it is, man. None of us obviously like this 100 overall stuff, but I will say, I mean, from a 6 standpoint, he's got virtually all of the best. He's got all of the best 6 in the game, basically. Almost all of the best 6 in the game. So as a dribbler, he's going to be fantastic, which means as a slasher, he's going to be fantastic at 6'9". Be really, really annoying to deal with. But he's not the best 300. And if you need 300s on your team, you're going to play somebody over Magic, even if you have them when you need 300, if you don't have it at a better position. And that should do it, right? I think that's all of the cards. Yeah, we are done. So this collection, I will say, the main thing for me, all of these opals are really good. I don't think there's a bad opal in this collection. And I don't think there's an opal in this collection that's not fun, right? So if you were locking in the set just to get one of the opals, and I'm not telling you guys what to do with your MT, I'm not taking a stance on the use of MT, but I do think that you're basically going to be happy with whatever you get. Anything you get can play. If you get Chet, you basically got an S tier card. If you got Danny Ferry, you've got one of the best big, small forwards in the game. And you've probably got one of the best two-way players here and one of the most fun power forwards in the game here and a solid big two guard here. So yeah, great set to lock in. Pretty mid on the pink diamonds at a glance, but we have to see how Joakim Noah shoots, how Raef plays defense, and how Kirk Heinrich dunks. That could dramatically change my view of these cards. But overall, yeah, excellent opals, excellent free card, and mid pink diamonds. Do with that what you will. Thank you so much, guys. Please like and subscribe. I will see you in the next one. Peace.